Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Right
Assalamu
now.
alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu. Welcome to All Things Nakai Podcast, where we cover almost everything.
Everything.
Almost everything. And today we are doing Whatcha Cooking. If you haven't noticed by my post, I am not feeling well, so I am quarantined in my room from my boys. So and they are doing they are doing my quarter quarantine dinner. So inshallah, everything will be fine with me. I went and took my COVID test today to find out if maybe because it's been cold at night here in Florida. So maybe I'm just adjusting to the weather, but inshallah we'll find out. I'm not feeling well. But regardless of how
You feel okay?
um it feels like a head cold is coming. And so I'm trying to take everything I can so
Okay.
I can flush it out before. I guess it didn't help either that I went to physical therapy today. They used those rods on me to like take out whatever knots or whatever. And all of that lactic acid that they release, it can make
Yeah.
me sick too. I've been sick before because of that. I was
You
sick
are.
for a week after somebody did a very rough massage. I didn't realize they were going so deep. But a week after,
Uh-huh.
for a whole week after, I was very sick with really deep purple bruises going up and down my back. But inshallah, this time I won't have bruises. But I know that I need to drink lots of water and rest for a bit, inshallah. Um,
Inshallah.
but I wanted to be a part of this because you never know, and I wanted to be around and with my peeps. So
Exactly.
inshallah, you guys won't mind if I'm in a different location and I am viewing Carisha doing her dinner. Tonight is What You Cooking, and
Yes.
we might be changing it to that unless we have a specific recipe we want everybody to um deal with. But our podcast is about history, sisterhood. Our podcast is about sharing our lives and showing that even though you may not be in the same place, that we can all be sisters and all be there for each other no matter where we are. Sisterhood is about what we put in and what we take out. So Carisha, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Organizing my schedule, and you know how you go through that phase where 100 things just pop up and you feel like you can't get them done.
Right.
Like it's like, oh yeah, oh let me look at this and let me look at this, and I'm the hermit master, so it's like I've gotten to the point where like my devices have to move from the bed now. Me and my devices are spending too much time together, but alhamdulillah, I'm getting a lot of things I needed to get done and out of the way handled. And
Oh, I know about
that's one of the downfalls I think
I went
to
and
working from
bought
home.
some devices today, like this
Ooh,
little thing, because I'm
that's it.
I'm needing to elevate in order to help my posture, and I think everybody needs to do this because, especially for me,
Yeah.
all of my businesses, everything is online, so I'm always looking at my phone, and if you look at your posture while you're looking at your phone, your head is down, you're not in the best posture. So today I bought things that will elevate everything. So my laptop is elevated now. My I bought this little cute little, this is a pop socket stand. So those that have these little pop sockets, see, remember I told you I had the pop socket that had the little lip chapstick on the inside. So I have this.
Yes.
And I bought this little stand here has a little flexible thing that can so I can elevate. So everything is right here and it's all elevated. So I'm looking up straight instead of looking down. And I think, the elevator,
Well, you know,
the evolution of man is gonna have us all humpback with all of these devices that we're on. And then I just dropped it.
yeah, well, you know, my whole office set up like that. My main laptop sits a stand that actually has a bracket where you can angle it, elevate it, or you can hook it and pull it up. My monitor sits up on a riser. My keyboard and my mouse sit up on and the laptop I use when I'm on the podcast, that actually sits up. I just pull the riser from up under one and sit it up on top of that one. I do spend a lot of time, especially now since I don't go into the gym and I don't do clinicals with anyone. I do those online now, so I'm constantly sitting there talking. So everything I have, I'm a firm believer in proper posture. So you're right on that. Like you got to rise everything up. Everything.
So what's on the menu for
Your
you
computer
tonight?
should be. Your computer should be. Um, I am making soup. I make soups all. I'm a soup. No, I make soup times. When in doubt, if I think of something, I'm just doing chicken and rice soup. Chicken and rice soup, and we wanted oyster crackers. I hadn't had those in a while.
Okay.
So real basic. Chicken. I just dice up celery, saute some mushrooms, throw in some heavy cream with some broth, and the chicken and the rice.
Nice.
Good,
All right.
light, hearty soup. So
Well, show us what you're doing. Show us what you're doing, because I never made the chicken soup like that.
Okay, so I am over here. I am cutting up my chicken. I'm just freely cutting it. Just ugly cuts. Long as it's cut, because then it's going to boil down. And then I have my vegetable saute, and then I have the pot. I have
Hold
water
on,
so that
Carisha.
the cream is in the bottom of the pot.
Carisha, you're going in and out. You might want to reset.
Okay.
Yeah. So while she's resetting, let me tell you, she's making a chicken noodle soup. She's going to use like heavy cream and broth in there. I am interested to see how that's going to go. If you're just joining us, I'm on quarantine. I'm not feeling very well, alhamdulillah. But I am going to continue to deliver to the podcast as long as I can. I'm not feeling very well. It feels like allergy plus head cold going on. But I did go and take my COVID test, and I am quarantining even from my family, except for my youngest. I don't think I'll ever be able to get him off of me. So I have to force him. So inshallah, we'll be able to contact look at him. My cat is trying to get into the door, and it's super cute when their little paws are underneath the door. Anyway, so how is everybody doing with the new book of the month? The book of the month is Establishing an Islamic Household by what's his name? Muhammad and Salih. Have you guys been reading? Because we are now in chapter 1 through 3. It's like 6 pages. It's very easy to read. And the first chapter is finding a suitable spouse. So I thought that was an interesting and actually the perfect thing, because you cannot establish any kind of home unless you have the right characters inside of it. You know what I mean? So Um, I'm waiting for her. So the first chapter is finding a suitable spouse. And that goes on for a couple of pages, and I truly believe that that's the perfect way to do things. Then the second chapter, so forming the household is the second chapter, and then striving to guide one's wife, I believe, is the third chapter. So choosing a suitable spouse, striving to guide one's wife, and then forming the household. So, and guiding does not, well, we'll find out. We'll find out. So, I guess that's what we should do. First of all, what qualities are you looking for in a spouse? What qualities are we looking for in a spouse? And we're not talking about, oh, I want him to be tall, dark, and handsome. I want his hands to be bigger than my head. No, I mean, yes, those are all great features that we're looking for. Um, but how is he with family? How is he with children? How is he with you on a bad day? I know with us not being able to date, that might be a hard thing to find out, but you can check. I mean, you can talk to people in his community. He should have some friends. He should have some friends that you can speak to. Um, I'm in my 40s, so he's got to have some friends by now. Um, as far as standards, for me, it's that they should at least have some savings by my age. You should have a house of some kind, that establishes a home, maybe a job, maybe. Uh, you know, but the different standards for different women, right? So, what are the qualities that we're looking for in a spouse? Second thing is, once you have gotten those qualities down, does a potential that have those qualities, when you're looking at it, would they choose you? That potential that has those qualities, would they choose you? So, everybody, comes around and they say, I want a millionaire man and da 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 da. First of all, are you hanging around where the millionaires are? Do you have other millionaire friends? Do you have the characters of the person that's a millionaire? For example, you want a brother on Dean, alhamdulillah. Are you on Dean? Are you striving to be on Dean? Um, are you looking for somebody that knows more than you so that they can teach you? Okay. Assalamu alaikum, Karisha. I'm just going through my 5 questions.
I was here.
I think it's going to be like
I can hear you. Okay. Yeah, you got good questions.
Yeah. So the first question
Those are
is,
good questions.
what are the qualities that you're looking for in a spouse? And I've said this before, so this is the second time. That potential that has those qualities, would they choose you? We're not talking about race or height or hair texture and things like that. We're talking about, is your a dean? Is your character attracting those people of the ummah Are you attracting those people
I told
of the
somebody some people.
order that you are searching for? Because that might mean that you need to switch up your thing because, you know, everybody has a type of guy that they're attracted to, or a type of woman that they're attracted to, but sometimes you might have to change just to attract a more suitable mate. All right, Carisha, what are you doing right now? You're still kind of etchy. We can't see you clearly over here, but go ahead and tell us what you're doing, inshallah.
Okay. Yeah, I did like your qualities because I did think that when you're looking for a mate, yes, you might like hypothetically, let's say you like a business professional, but he needs to be able to take you to meetings or he needs to take you out with his colleagues. Can
Mhm.
you keep other type of individuals? So you might like that type of person, but are you going to be compatible with that? What are you bringing to the table with that? That doesn't always mean much. So I then like when you look at the qualities that you're looking for in a mate, are you also looking at yourself to see where you complement those qualities, and vice versa?
Right.
So that's good thing. I am stirring the cream and getting the cream thick. So I
Okay,
got my
what
cream.
kind of cream are you using? Did you just put butter in the pot and then
Oh,
some heavy whipping cream?
yep, butter, water, and heavy whipped cream, and letting it simmer. I'm just having the chicken and the rice and mushrooms and carrots. I mean mushrooms and celery and seasoning. That's it. Real basic night.
Hmm. I'm having
No one's here, but I can go super soup and salad. What are you having?
I'm having my youngest son made a beautiful steak, and my oldest son had gone out and gotten some Chinese food um on his way back home from work. And so we're having a steak and Chinese rice and stuff like that. It's like a mixture of two meals. It's a nomad meal.
Oh, I love those nights. Sometimes those are the perfect nights. Because sometimes it's like having a buffet at home.
Yes, exactly. Because I have told them that I am not buying any more food until my refrigerator and pantry is empty. Because there's all this food, and because they're thinking mama's going to get something every day, or she's going to the grocery store and I can just buy for that recipe, they're forgetting to eat all the food that's in there. So sometimes I have to do that.
Well, in my house, I don't do them. Go get the snacks. If you look behind me, that's a mountain of snacks. That is because my husband will go and buy snacks after he's already said, made banana bread. He made I love bread. For some reason, he comes in the house with cookies. This is the funny part about it. He will tell you this okay? And okay, I was looking for those cookies and I don't see the cookies here. Okay, okay. There's like four more of these over here. One is because every time he goes to the store, he keeps buying. Look, Mexican made bread. There's homemade banana bread and chocolate bread here. So I don't even buy like chips or snacks or anything. Like he's a snacker. So when he goes to work, look, Mexican made chocolate bread. He said the other day he bought chocolate little pouch brownies because we were out of the chocolate. And then what do I have over here in the mountain? This is what I have in the mountain. Root chips and
What is that?
root chips and butterfly PT. And root chips. Oh, I love root chips. I'm not a junk food eater. So when I eat junk food, I like good junk food.
What
It's
does
like cooks on vegetables.
Okay, we can't see it all the way. That's why I keep looking crazy.
Uh
It's called root vegetable.
huh.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're just dry. And so those are my snacks.
Okay, take one out. Let me look at it.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Okay. Inshallah, let me see here. Oh, I have to show you what I made.
Okay, I'm ready for you. I'm here for it
I'm
all.
making potpourri oranges. Look, I'm making potpourri. You know how when you see potpourri, like old school potpourri, your grandma's house, dried fruit or nuts and different things in the basket with the leaves, and then you just douse the oil. I'm making potpourri.
Oh, you being
These like
mommy
dried
food.
I had oranges that were bad. So that's like that, and I'm gonna take some lavender pellets and put over it, and then take my sage.
Oh,
When I burn my sage, it'll have a citrusy scent. So the after.
you're gonna have to show us how to do that, honey. Nobody knows how to do that but you.
Oh my gosh! When I just literally cut the oranges, put the oven on warm, walk away for like 4 hours, flip them, walk away, and then come back. Just let them dry. It was down like you sit the orange on a candle, inside of a candle,
Mm-hmm.
and let it burn, and then you'll have a citrus scent going through the house. You can
Oh,
put it at the
nice.
bottom of the an air freshener where it smells citrusy, where you have that citrus scent or lemon scent cleaner.
Right.
If you take that and you dry lemon slices, it'll exude the scent of the orange. And that acid cleans the house. And you don't have to worry about if the kids lick where you're spraying or they touch where you're spraying. Or if you food where there's a chemical.
Nice.
And for potpourri, it's the best potpourri. You set them in a jar and put whatever aromatherapy you like inside of it. So you can go eat for just set like a little. Remember old school potpourri? Remember your mom used to have, or somebody used to have potpourri. No one buys the potpourri and has it in the corner anymore. That's the other thing. So that's what I also been doing too. Really? Let me see. Okay. How about now? Okay.
She just dipped on us. All right, let's get back to she's having internet. So number 3, are you improving and striving yourself? And I'll put the your in capital letters. Are you improving and striving yourself? Surrounding yourself with the behaviors that you are seeking. Okay, that's number 3A. All right, so are you improving and striving yourself? And then are you surrounding yourself with the behaviors that you're seeking? Okay, so Carisha put some butter in a pot and then she put some heavy whipping cream in it. And then what did you do?
Still simmering. It is still simmering.
Oh, and she's simmering it. Did you put the broth in right now or that comes later?
a little bit of the broth. I still have the chicken boiling. So I just took a little bit of the broth from the chicken and so the and so
Nice.
this way the cream doesn't have clumps in it. I want the cream to be really smooth.
Nice. Okay. And how long do you simmer it
Yeah,
for?
you get good. I would say about 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Sometimes I put it on low when I let it simmer, so by the time everybody gets prepared and ready to eat, I've done like 20 other things, so I'm not going back and forth checking it fast. Pork I
Okay.
super love. Yeah, I like your questions though. I'm liking
Thank
your
you.
questions.
Just a little bitty thing.
Yeah,
Because
go for
we're
it.
doing
That's the question.
our first three chapters of the book. So, and because life, I forgot to post the questions. So here we go. Those are the questions that I have. Like, if you're looking, you've got to
I
find the
like it.
right spouse, somebody that cares about children, just like, the same attitude towards children that you have, the same attitude towards family that you have. That's very important. For some
Yeah,
people, it's important if they have some knowledge of the cultural background. I'll tell you, there was somebody that I knew that was a potential, and he was telling me, and I think I've told you guys this before. That's why I'm saying it again. That when I met his father, he wanted me to like uh make sujood to like his father. And I was like, I'm not doing that. But I'm sure somebody in his own culture, it would have been a no-brainer, even though I don't think it should be a no-brainer, especially for Muslims. But for me, that also told me that I wanted somebody of my own culture, only because I didn't want to have to do things like that. And because I respect people, I don't want to disrespect anybody in their own cultures. But there's certain things that I'm just not going to do. And if that means that it's going to make you look bad or make me look bad, I'm not going to do it. So you might as well go on the other way.
that makes sense.
That's how I feel about it, at least.
And I think and that jump into it. You knew that. You didn't pretend and said, "Okay, I'm going to do this just so I can be with you." You were honest, and I think that's one of my main points. Be honest, even if it's the darkest part, and you're just like, "Look, I'm not going to do that." Just be honest that you're not going to do that, or that's not going to work. Raw conversation,
Yeah,
not like the little pretty, because you're not pretty every day.
right. And
Be honest.
it's very important that even before you get married, I was listening to a podcast this morning, and this young woman, subhanallah, of course she's already has children with this man, but and you guys have probably heard it too. I got it from the Breakfast Club, as a matter of fact. You guys know I love listening to that only for research purposes. And the young lady called, and she has been with this man for a while. They already put money down for their wedding and everything like that. And she discovered that he had been hiring escorts. Um, and not only escorts, but trans escorts and specific
Oh,
escorts that would do certain certain things, like what do they call it, a rim job. I'm still trying to figure out what that is. Like, maybe we're just too whatever.
I don't need to know what that is. Like, yeah, I don't need to know what that is.
Well, anyway, so we won't, let's not dwell on that.
Uh-uh.
But the point was that
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
she was asking him about these things, and he was telling her he didn't know what she was talking about. So, first of all, you're trying to make her sound crazy, like she don't see what she sees. And then, second of all, you're lying to her. If you cannot be honest with the person now, why are you marrying them? And her concern was like, we just put down all these deposits for the wedding. And you know what? Even for myself, when I first got married, I was one of those that was so into the wedding that I totally forgot about the marriage. Because right now she's got a man that's lying to her, potentially a homosexual, and she already has children with him. You see what I'm saying? And they were telling her, they were telling her, look, forget about the wedding right now. What it is that you need somebody that's going to tell you the truth before you get married. If you guys gonna get that straightened out now, it's gonna be more expensive than you losing your deposits later. Because divorce is expensive.
And then your children are going to look at it. Yes. And then your children are going to sit there because now you bought this.
Right. And now your children are all into it
over
because they're starting to have feelings for him and stuff like that. Or if these are his children, you guys have been together forever. They see that you're going to get married, and then you get married and all of a sudden it doesn't work. It is not going to work because you did not approach the problem in a mature fashion, which is we need to get rid of this lying before we commit to each other. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And I kind of lie about that, honey. And to me, if you're man enough to say that that's what you want in your life, then own it and give me the choice. Don't try to take my check. Like, then that's a form of oppression, because then you think you can't just lie your way. Give me the right to say, okay, this is what I'm okay with. And give me the choice to say, no, I'm not okay with it. But you don't get to do that and take away my choice and lie to me. Like, you're getting all of this from me, which could potentially break me. And then I'm a working person with all these kids.
Yes. And then that's when, and if you don't approach that situation and communicate effectively, because marriage is all about communication, okay? And you're not effectively communicating, it's just going to turn into a nightmare for you. So you might as well just get it all in the open at the beginning. At the beginning. Let's tell the truth now. You do not want a lying spouse. It's the worst feeling. And then all of a sudden, you're the crazy one. You're the crazy one, but you're the one that was lying all this time. And now you made me feel terrible about myself. And now I'm having a temper tantrum about it. And now you want to tell everybody I'm crazy.
Exactly.
I'm not crazy. All right. So Lowry's. We're putting Lowry's in the heavy cream.
So we got to put the Lowry's in. The Lowry was down. Like, but yeah, you're right. Then I come off either crazy or you're forcing me to accept it. Because what if we've now bought the house, we've done all this stuff. It's not like I'm a single person. So I got to think about how I handle this with you. So now you got all the control, because if me and the kids are in the house with you, you can gauge how you talk to me about it. I don't want you to bring this up in front of my children.
Right.
So you can gauge how much control you have over the conversation. Like you're taking so much away, or that to me, that's the thing. I think no matter what you talk about in a relationship, money, we all can make money if we all want to make money. we all can make as much money as we put our effort to, and that is going to be designed for us to have.
Right.
We're going to have what is decreed for us.
Right.
Well, so that's completely different. Where you live at, guess what? You can move, you can hop, you can be somewhere for a while and then go somewhere else. You can get you can go from a house to an apartment, from an apartment to a condo to a trailer. You can do all those things, but you still have to be able to do that with that person. And I think
Right.
I think those are the raw questions and the raw topics. Like say off the wall stuff, like that topic right there. To me, so hypothetically, if you knew a guy and you and the guy were really friends, would you if you would cheat on me, would you cheat on me with the guy? Like that's a question to me, even though it would be offensive. I want to know, like, how does that make you feel? I want to know, would it make you feel if I took your whole paycheck instead of paying the bills, I went and I bought a Michael Kors purse? Because then if you say, well, I would be mad, but I might take all the money and I might go gambling. Then we're opening up doors. So I didn't mean I was really going to get a Michael Kors purse, but then we're opening up doors so it wouldn't bother you. So how would you fix the bill? Because if
Right.
you're not bothered about the bill, how would you fix the bill? Those are things that, like, to me, like, we should have those kind of conversations. How are we going to handle disagreements in front of the children? What are because we can get closer and love each other. We can what each other likes. What we
Mhm.
can't handle may be the biggest thing that hurts, no matter how much we like each other. To me,
Right. Yep.
be the biggest, one of the biggest things. Like what? Tell them when you get mad how you respond, or when you can't deal with certain things, how it bothers you. How is that going to make you feel? Let me know how you feel about that. To me, I think that's what we omit. We omit talking to that level before we get married,
Yeah, and it's a very
and then we don't
important
marry someone
piece.
who
I mean, I
doesn't know
even
us.
though we don't do the dating in the traditional sense, as Muslims, these are questions that have to. I mean, there's got to be a time where you should be able to ask these questions to the brother and to research the brother. Okay, talk to their friends, talk to the people in the masjid. They, somebody knows about the brother, and if the brother doesn't, if nobody knows about the brother because he's not around the ummah as much, there might be something that they're trying to hide, and so you need to delve deeper before you intertwine your life with somebody like that. All right, Carisha, what else are you doing? You put in the
And you
heavy
know
cream.
what this reminds of?
You simmered for 20 minutes.
Okay,
You put some Lowry's in it. What you doing now?
I'm getting, I'm taking the chicken out and breaking up another piece of chicken. Yep, I'm taking the chicken out the boiling water and I'm breaking up another piece of chicken.
You're
So
taking the
I'm
chicken out of where?
just cutting it into chunks. However, um, I had the chicken in the pot of water that was just still boiling because then I can gauge how much broth I put in my chicken. So I
Okay.
boil the chicken in a separate pot, and then all that excess fat and stuff can go to the top because I don't want that in there. Well, some people like it, but I try not to have to. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm breaking up the chicken. So just breaking it up
Oh,
into
so you
pieces.
cooked your chicken
Nothing,
first? You boiled it
nothing
first?
cute. It's just it apart. I boil it first, and then that way I have the broth. Then I don't have to buy
Oh,
broth.
okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, I boil it first, and then I gauge gives me my water. And then you know how all the fat and different things come up. Then I can gauge how much of that I put into the soup because I already added the butter.
Mm.
But but yeah, on this topic, Norman Ali Khan did a video that I actually post on my Facebook today, and it was a very good post about spouses, and it was actually about a brother who he was Muslim by name, is what he called him in the beginning. He was Muslim by name, and then he decided that he wanted to get closer to his wife, and started practicing in Islam. And he was already married to a woman that wasn't Muslim. And once he started getting closer into Islam, he went to the imam and told the imam, like, how do I approach this with my wife? And the imam told him, don't be a deal about it. Show her, be a Muslim, be a husband to her, be a Muslim husband. And throughout the process, he stopped going out with his friends as much,
Mm.
which made her stay home more and not go out with friends as much. He stopped gambling because she would go with him to gamble, so that got her out of that environment. He spent more time with her. They laughed, they talked, and actually accepted Islam. But she saw the change in him. So to me, I think that's a factor too. Because what if you do marry your brother that maybe he's not in the masjid? Why is masjid? So if this brother tells you, hey, look, I work at this time of day, when I do make it to the masjid, no one else is there for salat. Or what is his reason? Because they may not see him for that purpose, but he could get a wife and a family, and then his wife cooked for Ramadan, so he's forced to take the food over there for her, and then
Now,
that's going to push him into the masjid. Maybe he needs that comfort, or maybe he goes to the masjid and it's always families. What is that?
somebody at the masjid should know the brother, though. I don't care if he worked 24 hours a day. Somebody at the masjid should know him.
They
Because
should,
first of
but
all, you have Jumu'ah. And for Jumu'ah, for the brothers, it's mandatory unless they have an excuse. And if they have an excuse, then the Ummah should.
But I'm gonna tell you, my masjid. Only reason why I know this brother, and he has spoke to me in the grocery store, and I've looked at him like, "Who are you?" And then he had to tell me. I've only seen this brother at the masjid only on Juma, and when I tell you, it's usually at the end of Juma. The only reason why I knew who he was because I'm looking at him, and he's like the brother in the FedEx uniform, and never seen him any other time. And I'm always at the masjid. And when I asked my husband, like, yeah, FedEx truck is always in the parking lot. But that's it. That's it. No one knows his name. No one knows what he looks like. And I literally told him that. And he was like, the only time I get through there is, and he said he doesn't even live in the area. His routes are in this area. So he stops for Juma. He said he doesn't even go to any other masjid anymore. So no one would really know who he is. I kid you, no one would know him.
But they would know him because they know the FedEx truck. That's what I'm saying. They would know. They might not know his name.
Yeah, but they wouldn't know about
the FedEx truck. And you best believe those brothers. Yeah. Those brothers know who he is. You might, of course, you as a sister wouldn't know his name,
because we were inquiring.
But the brothers should know, even if he's somebody that goes around in passing. Inshallah.
Without him being in the uniform, they don't even know who he is. It was the funniest thing because I actually wasn't by myself that day. He spoke to me. It was us and another Muslim couple from the same masjid. And until he said it, and both our husbands was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay, now I know who you're talking about." But beyond that, no one knew, couldn't tell you. Right, but I can say them at Juma.
What you doing now?
Other than that, I know there's a lot of brothers like that. I'm still breaking up the chicken. Still breaking up. I gotta make it meaty. If I'm going to make soup, if I'm going to make my non-hearty meal, I gotta put a lot of meat in it. So I'm breaking up the chicken.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I usually throw the bone back in there and let that just get in the water a little more because I keep adding the water because I haven't added the rice yet. Like I take that bone and I'll just add that back in the broth.
Okay.
Yep. Just still letting it sit. I let my food cook on low for long periods of time. I am the slow simmer. I am not a rush my meal person at all.
Mm.
So it could be 10 o'clock and we finally eat. And like I'll send you pictures of food and it's like 11 o'clock.
Oh, I know what you mean. I'm the same
Sometimes
way.
I eat after I get the kids, or I eat going home and stuff. Yeah, I'll get the whole house relaxed and done. So then when I sit and eat, then I'm done.
Mm.
Or I'll sit for a few moments. I just took out another piece of chicken. Okay. So what are your other 2 points? I just took out another piece of chicken.
Okay.
I'm about to cut that up. And when I make these soups, I don't care what part of it. I usually take, when I open a family pack of chicken and we don't cook it
Mhm.
all, I put that 1 piece or that 2 piece of chicken there. I want to make soup. I don't have to have like a whole pack of chicken or something like that. I can just take out 1 or 2 pieces.
See, when I make my chicken and rice, I boil the chicken down first, and then I add my rice and onions and da 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 da, and then I let that simmer. And then by the time the rice is cooked, that's when everything should be done. So this is a different method for
Uh-huh.
me that you're doing.
So that's the same thing, just I just use more than one pot. I usually dishes and pots when I eat, when I cook. I just cook it separately only, and I just cook it separately so that I can gauge, because I want it still thick. Like the soup, I think you can see. Let me see here.
You
Let me
wanted a
see.
hearty meal.
Let me see. I'll turn it this way. Yeah, it's thick.
Let me
It's
see.
it's a
Let
thick
me see
soup.
again.
So yeah. Oh, okay. There.
Oh, that is thick. Nice.
See, it's
Okay.
thick. Yeah.
Put some pepper in
So
it.
it's thick. So then I don't have to worry about it being runny for the kids. Oh, it's pepper in it.
I am a
Oh, it's a
pepper.
lot of pepper in it.
I
It just
am
went to
just
the
a
bottom. Look,
pepperaholic.
me and Lucy's.
Yeah, I'm a pepperaholic when it comes down
Well,
to
I know
soups and fried chicken and eggs. I like
you can't put
soup.
it so much because the babies eat it.
Huh?
Yeah, the babies eat it. So I put pepper in there, but then I put a little bit more. And I have to slight down the pepper because they eat it.
Mhm.
Because my kids like eating table food. They don't want mash. So they want to eat it out your. Once you get a plate, these two, they're like, don't give me nothing out that little container. Don't put my food on that little plate. Don't give me that little spoon. They want to eat off the same type that you're eating off the same plate. So
Right. Right.
I don't overly pepper it then. But when I know for sure I'm eating by myself, oh, I extra pepper it. I'm a pepper. I'm a Scotch bonnet pepper, jalapeno pepper. I will stick pepper of some sort in my
You're
food
so funny.
if it's just me eating it all the time. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm the only person in the house. Jessica eats them periodically, and then I just take the bone and just stick the bone back in there.
Hmm.
I do that because you see, like in butter, you know how when you're doing in the water has that grease
Right.
from the fat. I don't want that in the soup because I already added butter. Although my family probably wouldn't care if it was in there. But that's me just trying to control the fat consumption. Because I can't control it when they make me fried
Okay,
chicken. I can't control it make me fried chicken stuff.
we have about 10 minutes left. So tell us, okay, so the process that you did was with butter, you went and simmered down some heavy whipping cream. You add while you were doing that, you were boiling down your chicken to
Mm-hmm.
get the broth. Once that uh once the
Mm-hmm.
heavy cream was ready, you put some Lowry seasoned salt. You took out your chicken and basically deboned it, and you're putting that meat in there with the rice, correct?
Correct. And then my rice is already cooked, so I just add the rice at the end. I just throw the rice in there because I don't want the rice to get mushy.
Mm-hmm.
So I throw the rice in right before we're going to, because then that gives you the option if you want to have rice and pour it over like a gravy or like a cream sauce. You get the option whether you want chicken and rice soup or you want chicken and cream sauce over rice.
Okay, and how long do you cook that meal for? I know you were
So it
simmering
gives you
this
the
for
option.
20
And then I
minutes.
can make it. You can cook it. You can, once you boil the chicken, it could take you about 15, 20 minutes to put it all together. I just cook. I cook slow, and that's my thing. No matter what I'm cooking, I've told you that 100 times. I cook slow. I'll cook that on low for another hour just because I do that. That's all the time. But I do that option, especially if people have little kids. Then, if you're giving them table food, you don't have to always puree what you're giving them.
Right, you could just
You
give them
can
the soft
have
meal.
it over
Yeah.
here. You can Well, you can actually give them the chicken if you use one of these, and then you don't have to always you don't have to use the baby bullet. See how this has these holes? This bowl has grooves in it. Can you see the
Oh yeah, yeah,
grooves?
yeah, yeah.
You put the food in there and push against it. You can take shredded chicken and sauce, do that in the rice, and then you got mashed food, but you don't have to always puree. So that prevents me from pulling out the baby bullet for a hot meal for them. Because then this way, if the rice is not already in it, then I can do a couple of big spoons of rice, mush that a little bit, and then put the chicken and the sauce over it, push that in there, and then it's not mushy. It's not pureed. Like, I don't like giving the babies pureed meat. Like, at least this way, especially for Zaid, if he swallows it, it's still stringy and thinner. So yeah, so that's a good trick for that. So that's why I'm not putting the rice in it. But standardly, you just throw the rice in there. I just don't because I'm trying to gauge when I want a lot of rice. Or and Messica is a rice baby, so some days she'll say rice with broth.
Yeah, I came from the old school where you ate the food
So I
first
have to
and
cater my
then give
food.
it to the kids. So that's that that's that those first world problems that you got over there where you want to mash everything. Because both of my kids went from
Yeah,
nursing
see,
straight to table food. I hardly, alhamdulillah, because that saves so much
well,
money.
these are. Yeah. Oh yes. I'm just. I get grossed out by stuff. So I am one where I'm like, I don't use the same spoon. I have a second spoon for the kids. And that's my way of teaching them, like, okay, that's your plate, that's your food. So you have your food, I have my plate, and my food. So I do the mash it up and chew it. So I use that, or I just thin it out. So basically, I kind of cook for 12 different people. I cook one meal in different ways a lot of times, so everybody can be satisfied.
Alhamdulillah. I mean, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying, what you're cooking, because every family is different. But today, can you show us the
Exactly.
like your pot so that they can see see what the broth should look like, because all from what you're about to show them, all you're doing is cooking that for about another 10-15 minutes. You put some rice down and you put this broth on top with the chicken in it, correct? Now,
Okay, here we go.
now,
Here we go.
Carisha, don't forget to take a picture of your plate, please.
Oh, okay. I'll try to remember that. I have
Okay.
this one right here. Let me see. Okay, so then this is what I do if you have a family that you got to give everybody something in it. This is what I do. That's the chicken broth. So then they can have it thick or they can thicken it. thin it out. So it gives everyone the option of having their food the way they
Mm-hmm.
individually want it. I'm very big when I cook in the household. You don't have to eat food the way I eat it. You can shape it your own way. Like I know sometimes Mezika will say she wants a bowl and she wants it over like gravy. Then sometimes she wants a soup. Husband, he would like this chicken chunks of the chicken with thick cream. You could give him a biscuit to sop it with and some greens on the side. So you would make it more like a gravy chicken meal for him. So I have some cabbage from yesterday. I'm gonna have the cabbage on the side for him. But for me, I'm gonna thin it out, make it like a soup. For the babies, I'm gonna put a little bit more rice, a couple of pieces of chicken with a lot of the broth. So I'm giving everybody the same meal, but it's quick little customizing that's done to the meal to make everybody happy. I grew up in a household, you know, I have friends who grew up in households where I was lucky. If I said I didn't like what my mom cooked, truthfully, my dad would be like, okay, well, when I get up to go to work, you want me to go get you something? Totally. I would say it sometimes. I know as a kid, I would say it sometimes just because I wanted to eat something else. It had nothing to do with not liking it. So for me, if a kid tells me I want more white cheddar than cheddar, oh, okay, then I'm gonna make you a white cheddar. To me, I don't see controlling taste buds, and I know old school is like you eat what I put in front of you. So,
Well, every household is
so
different.
to me, it doesn't bother me because I'm not going to eat that. Yeah, I'm not going to eat what you put in front of me just because you told me I have to eat it that way. So to me, it's like they have like Angry Bird today was eating off of my husband's plate. Zaid ate a piece of cabbage. So he was handing her a piece of cabbage. She took that cabbage out. She looked at him and she put it right on top of it. And then she pointed over at his potatoes, and then she just looked at him like. Then he didn't do anything. She put her fingers right in the potatoes and got him. So yeah, he could have made her keep trying to eat the cabbage, but why make her eat the cabbage? She's gonna hate cabbage.
Mm.
Don't make her eat the. And then later she came over to Mexico and she ate some cabbage off her plate. Wanted the potato right then. To me, like okay, we have free will. We have the ability to think. To me, that's another way of having free thinkers. Like I like to see like, do you want this or you want that? How you want it. So yeah. So it's one meal, 100 ways. Basically, that's how most of the things in here are. And you saw that didn't take much time for me. Only thing I really added, I pre-cooked the rice. I have the rice in a container, and it only took the pot that the chicken boiled in. That's it. That's the only extra dish I used to do that. But I
Mm.
literally have it 4 different ways it can be eaten without effort.
Alhamdulillah. Well, inshallah, you guys will try her recipe.
What are your other two?
Hold up. Inshallah, you guys will try her recipe, and it will be something fulfilling for your family. Every family is different. Whether that means it's a family for just yourself, or a family with husband, or a family with just children. Everybody has their own family, and you change your recipes and ways of life to meet the the needs of your own family. So inshallah, you guys have enjoyed this. Inshallah, you've gotten the questions for the book of the month. The first question is, what
Yes.
qualities are you looking for in a spouse? The second question is, are you improving and striving yourself? And then uh 3A, no, that was question number 2. Number 2, the potential that you're talking about, that you're making this list for, would they choose you? Would the person with those qualities choose you? If you think that they wouldn't choose you, then are you improving and striving yourself to be that person, or to be your own, yourself, but an improved version, so that, you can meet whatever. And then last, are you surrounding yourself with
Inshallah.
behaviors
Those are
that
good
you are seeking? Are your friends do you have friends that are elevating themselves? Do you have friends that are striving, or do you have friends that are going to the club, all the time? So that's what they're doing. So tomorrow is Nakabi Small Talk, inshallah, at 7 p.m. Inshallah, you'll join us then. My name is Aisha Mai, and my co-host is Carisha.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. And this is All Things Nakab podcast, where we cover almost everything.
Basically, almost everything.
Almost everything. Inshallah, you'll join us tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We look forward to our discussion. Remember to bring your answers to the questions and your reviews of the first 3 chapters. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Stay safe. Keep your mask on. Socially distance. Don't forget to pray. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum.